what a name. I'm gonna be a little biased. I love the LeBron lovers name with all the memes going around and everything like that. But yeah, I got to see Guardians of the Sun yesterday. They're in the upper bracket for a reason. I mean, they've got a really strong group of players, right? I think Nooney, Synthix, Jaro, Chimera, McTwisty. That was the kind of lineup that I got to see play yesterday. And I mean, the two standout players for me really was McTwisty. I mean, this guy is just kind of insane on Captain America and like Magneto and stuff like that. He's a really good tank player. Synthix as well. I mean, we got to see the graphic earlier today that was posted where within one of his series, he flexed to like six or seven different heroes. I mean, just willing to kind of play what the team needs. And Nooney as well, right? Kind of a rising star in my mind with this Guardians of the Sun team. I really liked what I've been seeing from the squad so far. And it makes sense that they're kind of in that upper bracket.
Yeah, and those two players that you mentioned, they really, really dive deep into this game. When it came out, they were
Yes.
playing multiple rounds of games every day, and you can see it paying off right there. Actually, I think I saw that McTwisty clip on social media when that was posted live, and wow, what a fantastic play it was for him. When I look at the LeBron lovers, I recognize a lot of names from when we were hosting the Valorant tournaments here. But in particular, Sofa, who is one of the big players for the team. When she first downloaded Marvel Rivals and played it, she was like all in. She thought this was like the greatest thing that has ever occurred in her life at that moment. But she has really integrated herself into understanding the meta and understanding the compositions. And to make it to this point, I know that she's very, very excited for what's to come, especially if they like LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, what other glorious king would you have as your moniker? LeBron lovers. I mean, they're looking to take it to the top. And you talk about the meta, diving knee deep in. Just for everybody to know, we are in a new pick and ban phase system, right? Prior, if you guys watched tournaments before, if you weren't watching yesterday, used to be 2 bans, 1 save. Now we're doing 3 bans, 2 saves. That's just the tournament system that Marvel Rivals has implemented, as well as specifically for the Ohgawdevents, the Rise of the Rivals tournament. Emma Frost will be disabled. Just nobody's had time to really play her, and we don't want anybody to like get a competitive advantage. Somebody that like stayed up till 4 a.m. after the patch released and just started grinding Emma Frost. So other than that, everything else is going to be new, right? The Gamma team up for Hulk and Namor. I mean, we've got the Winter Soldier and Captain America stuff that we've been seeing. We got to see it yesterday. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. Some of these stuff maybe we won't get to see because they've been banned out pretty consistently, but I'm very excited to see what these guys bring out, because even yesterday's match between Guardians of the Sun and Strat Pack, like that went to 3 games, and it really could have gone either way in my mind. Me and Artie and Will, obviously, who filled in at the last map, we really thought it could have gone either way. Both of those teams very, very strong. So I'm very interested to see how the LeBron lovers stack up against Guardians of the Sun, and maybe I would even argue potentially upsetting Guardians of the Sun if they look like the best team here.
All right, so here it is. We're in the hero selection phase for the upper finals. Guardians of the Sun versus LeBron lovers. Be sure to put in the chat who you think is going to win this game and even the whole series, this best of 3. Whoever wins this series will go to the grand finals tomorrow, which is a best of 5. Otherwise, if you drop down, I mean, there's still the lower brackets, the double elim format. So looking forward to that. If you look at the picks right now, we got a couple of interesting bans. Groot is still unliked or very, very unliked, and that's why you have that ban. I know that's a big thing, but I don't know if you've noticed any changes in how they pick and ban based on this new system, or if it's still the same type of bans, Shibby.
It makes it complex, right? Like having 3 bans and having that ban kind of at the end makes it so that if you save a certain character, they can maybe ban up some of the team ups here. That Groot ban is directly pointed at Jaro. I mean, he just had a monster Groot series overall. Rocket Raccoon as well has been one of those characters that have been rising in popularity. As we actually get the no ban coming out from Guardians of the Sun here. Maybe they're just looking to open up more characters, leave the roster a little bit more open, or who knows? Maybe they just forgot to ban. Maybe they couldn't decide. But now we're going to see potentially another ban here. I mean, I would just take maybe Doctor Strange out the map, or I would even take something like Luna Snow. I'm a big hater on like the big sweeping defensive ultimates that like make you live for super long. I like quick fights, I like kills, and Luna Snow, Invisible Woman, those kind of heroes, they don't really facilitate that very well.
So that was actually a protect that was missed. Maybe they're
Oh
trying
yeah.
not to kind of give away what they're going to do for this
Hmm.
selection. As you see the lock-ins there, the Hella and Penny. Penny was said. I do love Penny. I'm a Penny main for life. I
Oh
was
yeah.
very happy to see some of the improvements that will come out with her. And I mean, if you can't throw in the Groot, you gotta throw in the Penny. I like it.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying watching all the Penny players kind of pick this character back up. I mean, she's obviously still even better on the defensive side, but I actually don't think she's that bad on the attacking side now. The ability to headshot, right, or crit has been very interesting, as well as she gains that little extra 100 health. That just makes her a lot tankier here, but nothing too crazy. Synthix is going to be back on the Hawkeye. Was frying kids yesterday on the Hawkeye, like absolutely looked insanely good. It felt like on this exact map, actually, on Tokyo 99 here, that first and second point when they faced off against Strat Pack, they absolutely breezed through simply because Synthix was just consistently getting picks. It was almost, like I said, felt like a 5v6 every time Strat Pack tried to fight them here. Look on the defensive side, we do see the Doctor Strange, which should allow for a little bit more shielding from those Hawkeye arrows. No dive really present on the side of Synthix and the Guardians of the Sun here. So we'll see how this Penny actually functions. Did you get to team up with the Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, which has been absolutely shredding people.
So right away, a big fight to start out in our first map here in Tokyo. And you already see the Penny doing a lot of work, putting down those mines. It's still very good defensively. And you mentioned earlier, yeah, Synthix on that Hawkeye is going to do a lot of poke damage, which is more than enough. I mean, Synthix can do a lot of damage on his own. I wonder if there'll be even like 6 different switches that we see in the whole series in the previous game yesterday.
Yeah, this Hella does bring an interesting kind of flavor to the map, right? It was banned out last series. Hella still busted. I know she got some nerfs, but she got some offensive powered buffs here. And it looks like the LeBron Lovers with Gizmo and Dingers have picked up some kills and have staved off the first offensive push here. And that's already a minute burned off the clock, Brown. That is, there's not a lot of time in Rivals. 4 minutes isn't a whole lot of time to push the first point. I know it feels like a lot, but with the way these fights are going, the way fights can happen, some of them can last a minute, minute and a half. And if you lose it, that is just so much time wasted.
Hey, with Convoy, you got to make sure you get those checkpoints to get that extra time. But even then, if we ever get to the second portion of the map, I feel like that is one of the hardest sections to push forward. So it's very important to get a push now. But look at that Suwold coming in, which gives some good protection for the defense. And wow, that just makes it so hard for our wonderful attackers, our Guardians of the Sun. It feels like they got to find other different ways to put them on their guard.
Uni on the Scarlet Witch, just trying to get work done. Synthix actually ended up going down there, so another stagger, more time being wasted. LeBron Lovers have just been holding them onto this first point here. Lum is swapped over to that thing there, gets the clobbering time going down. Scarlet Witch, unfortunately, Nuni doesn't really get anything done, but Gizmo pops the ultimate while his whole team is alive here, and this Penny ultimate, very good at zoning. You have to respect it because of the amount of webs it brings down.
Oh, here we go again. It's Rogue coming in, armed and dangerous, and a counter as well. You're hearing all of the Buckies coming in, but it seems like it's not doing enough. I mean, there's still one pick that comes out. Now the Hella ult as well from the sky. As you said, should be just so strong. And after all this chaos, still, it's doing a very good job holding the attackers at bay.
Yeah, they've gotten around this for point. One actually does get pushed away, but it doesn't matter. He lands the Eye of Agamotto onto two members, the two tanks of Guardians of the Sun here, and so far they've only been able to push it 63 meters onto the first point. And Brown, we've got maybe a minute left, 9 seconds before Nuni and Jaro spawn here. We may be looking at the last fight between these two teams coming up in about 10 seconds.
Well, if you look on the attackers, they got Lum right now, Guardians of the Sun. They got the something very, very strong coming up with the ultimate. You gotta look out for that. If they can combine some others, maybe Jaro's got the Luna Snow ult to go dancing in there. But still, if you let these ults stack up until the last minutes, it's going to be very tough to do anything because you got all these counter ults still coming in. I know the support ults have been nerfed a little bit, but Luna is still very strong to keep all your teammates alive for both sides.
Yeah, Wolf is already at 90% here. They've got to start popping these to try to get something done here. Lum actually pops that thing ultimate. Clobbering time doesn't really land on anybody. Chimera and Jaro have the ultimates available. McTwisty finally picking up some kills. It looks like Guardians of the Suns have finally started pushing through here, have completely or nearly wiped the defensive side here for LeBron Luvrs, but there may be one more contest before this point gets captured. They do have 3 members. Let's see if they go for the recontest here. Synthix is relatively deep right now.
He's trying to get the Luna really quick, and it's going to force that ult out. There is a touch. So one more fight coming in. Luna ult's being popped. And now the armed dangerous for Synthix. He wants it all. The counter from Rogue as well. And the Eye of Ohgawdevents. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that is so huge for McTwisty. It helps them get 4 picks, and that's the first checkpoint for the Guardians of the Sun.
A hard-fought first point here, Brown, and it pretty much cost everything on the side of Guardians of the Sun here. Although Nooney does have that Adam Warlock available and Chimera having that invisible barrier with Sue Storm, it looks like they swapped over to the 3 support. Synthix, the only real DPS character on this team, a lot of weight on his shoulders right now. Let's see if LeBron Luvrs are going to opt in to swap for triple support, if they're going to keep this double DPS composition, this 2-2-2 comp that we've been seeing. And the really tough thing is trying to get those picks onto those healers. When everybody's kind of focused on healing each other, it's very difficult to actually confirm any kills.
The LeBron Luvrs do have the Hela ult up and the Sue ult. They can use that in combination, and Juan's got the Ohgawdevents as well. Just 3 combinations they can use. It starts out with the Sue ult on defense early on to try to stop this quick, maybe an overextension, and that's gonna trigger Juan to come in to try to ults and make some action happen, which, you know, you gotta try to pull out all these support ults as possible so that when you get the big fights, you don't have to deal with any of those counters.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chimera does end up countering the Eye of Ohgawdevents with the invisible barrier here. And Guardians of the Sun doing a really good job on this point, too. Like you mentioned, it's relatively difficult to actually push onto this, but they've been doing a really good job just managing their ult cooldowns, really understanding ult economy. And Lum on this thing has kind of swapped over after that first point mishap, and has just been wreaking havoc onto the backline, and it doesn't seem like LeBron Luvrs have an answer. Wolfrax is actually going to pop that Luna Snow ultimate to try to touch at the last second, but it's too late. The second point has already been taken, Brown, and now this Luna Snow ultimate just feels wasted.
Yeah, nice and smooth for the Guardians of the Sun, and you get some extra ults for fun.
Oh, Synthix. I
mean, look at Synthix going in hot. And again, I didn't know you could fly that far. I really wanted it to go. Now, you mentioned the second section was pretty difficult. This third section has got some elevation that you're going to have to deal with. We'll see if there's any flankers, perhaps, from both sides, as Rogue possibly going to pop the Bucky ult. We'll see. It'll start with the Penny ult first, Shibby.
They're going to let you try to stall here. Penny has to be careful. You can get bursted down if you're just running face first into their team. But putting down all these webs, putting in all these mines will allow you to split that team apart here. But Jaro does have the Luna Snow ultimate available. Eye of Ohgawdevents from McTwisty lands out to multiple members but cannot get anything done. It actually ends up going down. Jaro pops the ultimate to try to save, but it's too late. Your tank goes down. Adam Warlock, Nooney, gonna pop that Karmic Retribution, gonna get his team back up. And Juan, in the meanwhile, was channeling a teleport, but that's not enough. He does have the Eye of Ohgawdevents available to counter. Kills going back and forth, but it does look like the LeBron Luvrs have won the fight momentarily as everybody respawns on the side of the Guardians of the Sun. Can they recontest with such low health bars?
With all these reses coming in, everyone is dying. Another Eye of Ohgawdevents, this time from Juan, who makes a triple kill connection. Amazing. And now the defense is in control. Synthix just trying to do something more, but is all alone here. What a great play by the entire team of LeBron Luvrs. They truly trusted LeBron there.
Yeah, I mean, really, really well played. They won essentially 2 fights in a row, if you think about it, because of that Adam Warlock res. Burned a ton of ultimates on the side of Guardians of the Sun here. Chimera and Synthix do both have the invisible barrier and Kraken impact. Wolfrax has the Luna Snow ultimate available, but they're hoping they're going to lose to wait on it. Instead, they're going to pop it in response here. 2 ultimates burned on the side of Guardians of the Sun right now. Wolfrax negating all that damage with the Luna Snow ultimate, and Dingers and Gizmo have the ult available. I believe the Hela ult comes out, but can they actually block it? McTwisty doing his best. Dinger gets a double kill.
Yeah, huge from Hela. McTwisty ran out of shield, and that's how the Hela takes advantage. And wow, everyone's falling apart. Almost an ace actually into overtime, and everyone has fallen. Everyone has fallen. I don't think there's enough time to continue this push. And a great hold for the great defense there. Amazing.
Yeah, LeBron Lovers, like you said, really trusting their GOAT right now. Pretty good defensively on the court. So, I mean, they're kind of holding up to that as now the sides have swapped here. And I'm going to be honest, Guardians of the Sun didn't look too amazing on the defensive side yesterday. Like a lot of the maps they played, kind of went to overtime, or they were really, really hard at holding. Specifically on this map, though, they did a really good job against Strat Pack, kind of holding it to that first point. We'll see if they implement some of those same strategies. We saw Synthic swap to the Mr. Fantastic yesterday. Don't know if he's completely sold on playing that again, because he was kind of getting... he was dying quite a bit on some of the other maps that he busted it out on the defensive side here. Let's see if they actually swap over to something a little bit different. Busting out that Squirrel Girl, he was really good on that as well. A lot of those Squirrel Girl ultimates landed multiple kills, sometimes double kills. And it feels like one of those ultimates that you don't really know what to do against it. Typically, you just to jump onto the high ground or shoot it here. We'll see, as I really do like the 2 DPS that LeBron Lovers have brought out here. They're essentially, in my mind, playing the 2 best DPS in the game right now with Hela and Winter Soldier.
I know Kate was super excited to observe both Lunas because her logo is the Luna, and the new Battle Pass skin. Yeah. It looks absolutely fantastic. Wolf's got it on right now. All right, here we go. It is the second half. We'll see what happens with the LeBron Lovers if they can go on the offensive here. Maybe a little fourth quarter comeback when the Guardians of the Sun. This time they're the ones guarding the half. They have to play some wonderful defense, but based on what I saw in the first half, it seems like they're not afraid to go on the offensive, and right away a big fight happening right in the next to the truck that I would go get food from.
Dingers picks up a kill on the Synthics. It's a 5v6 right now. Guardians of the Sun do have to play, like you said, a little bit defense. They have to kind of give the space needed for their DPS to come back right now, which is giving time for LeBron Lovers to push on through. Gizmo as well has opted in for the Penny Parker on the offensive side. I did say it feels a little bit better to play. Let's see if they can actually make it work here. The mines can provide a ton of damage, especially if you're looking to maybe spawn cap some of these entrances, as ultimates have been built up. Chimera has the invisible barrier up. That's the first ultimate available online for the Guardians of the Sun here. But by the time that goes down, McTwisty once again goes down here. The support ultimates being popped a little too late to save their tank. It's a 5v5 right now as both Doctor Stranges have gone down here. Synthics pops the Squirrel Girl ultimate, has leaped onto high ground here, but it doesn't matter as both Rogue and Sofa have picked up a couple kills here. Wolfrax has popped the Luna Snow ultimate as well. This is the fight-winning push that they needed for point 1 here, and it looks like they're also going to TP back just in case.
And after all of that, it's because of the Adam Warlock res, but it's been sniffed out. And here comes Twan. Oh my goodness, that is a big change of events. You saw the game plan there to try to use that TP and then the res to get in, but instead it becomes a numbers advantage as you see all the action happening here, Shibby.
Yeah, Dingers does pop that ultimate available. Luna Snow on the side of Guardians of the Sun. Jaro pops the ultimate, and Dingers, doesn't matter, has picked up 2 kills for himself. Nuni goes down, one of the 3 healers, 3 supports for the team, as well as Synthics, the lone DPS player for Guardians of the Sun, goes down here. You're lacking a lot of damage. You're not going to be able to really deal with these tanks. McTwisty versus 2, and he's going to lose that pretty consistently right now, or he should be losing it.
Oh, there it goes. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic for that entire first section. And when you look at Hunter, I mean, we talked about how Hela can be is still a very wonderful hero to play in this season. And I mean, I know you expect to see it from a Hela ult. I mean, it's almost unstoppable, but all you have to do is find who else is in the open. And if there's no Luna ult, if there's no Invis Woman ult, then it's just an instant kill for the Hela. So using that on the attack has been very, very instrumental for this push.
Yeah, Juan has that Eye of Agamotto available. No supports ultimates on the side of Guardians of the Sun here, so we may be looking to rip that before any of those build up. Chimera is at 85% though. That Invisible Woman ultimate has been crucial for stopping some of these pushes and winning some of these fights here. Lum as well popped in. McTwisty's gonna pop the ultimate. It doesn't matter. Ultimates gets popped on the side of the attacking team, but there's just too much damage coming in. Sofa goes down, so that means the invisible barrier goes down as well. Wolfrax is gonna pop the Luna Snow ultimate in response right now. Chimera still has invisible barrier on the side of the Guardians of the Sun here. Juan's gonna pop the ultimate. Actually gets frozen mid-ult, so it's stopped completely. And Adam Warlock's gonna res right in the middle of everybody. Noonie, what a ballsy res from them.
It's crazy. You don't get full health when you res. You gotta remember that. Now Rogue is trying to get some damage on his own. Going for a big push. And after all of that, it's just a standstill. You always see like a big Eye of Agamotto or a big Winter Soldier ult, and then it gets countered. There's like a Bucky ult, there's an Invisible ult. Earlier you saw that Sofa did go down because of just how great it is to be McTwisty, I suppose. But even after all that, as the defense, as long as you're stopping the cart from moving, you're doing a good job. And after that first section with Dingers, who's about to get ult again, doing some crazy damage, now you just have to wait for Jaro to use up this Luna ult, and Shibi, you might be in business with the Hello ult.
Yeah, Dingers has the ultimate available. Juan lands another big Eye of Agamotto, trying to get some kills here. Rogue has the ultimate built up once again. I just saw this guy use the Kraken Impact, and Dinger's gonna pick up kills. And this combination, like we mentioned, right? The Hela plus Winter Soldier, they're so good at confirming kills for each other. If Hela gets somebody low, Rogue can then come in with the Winter Soldier ultimate and come back and keep resetting there. You saw he kept going again and again, and Dingers the whole while has held this Hela ultimate, right? Chimera has the invisible barrier to respond. Let's see if they do that, but instead, more staggers coming in. Jar Jar and Noonie go down. That's two supports. Lum goes down. That's your tank. So this point two, relatively free for the Lebron lovers. And now the Guardians of the Sun have to make their stand on point three, but they keep getting staggered, Brown.
Now, just getting all of the Guardians separated. When they're not teamed up together, they're not going to be able to fight back against something like Rogue, who's already charging up his ult again. Now you got the Penny ult to get more space. This is what we're talking about. When you're able to use the Penny ult on attack, you can take up all the space with the webs, and Penny is a lot more tankier now. And that's what makes it so hard to fight against tanks like that.
And we've burned the Invisible Win ultimate. That's really surprising. Dingers now has free reign to just get the ult going. Exactly what they're going to do here, and how many kills are they going to be able to pick up. Unfortunately, the barrier not available for Doctor Strange. Getting a lot of damage down, but even then, even if you can't get kills on the Hela ultimate, forcing everybody back, forcing everybody into cover gives you more time, gives you more distance on that card. It has been constantly moving since they've papped point two. It has not stopped since. Now, granted, you pretty much have to get a near win on the side of LeBron Luvrs, as we did see Guardians of the Sun get it really far here. Dingers picks up a kill onto Jar Jar. You still have two supports remaining on the Guardian side. Chimera goes down, and Rogue, once again, with that Kraken Impact, is looking to reset pretty consistently, unable to confirm that kill onto McTwisty. That might be Guardians of the Sun silver lining here, but unfortunately, as quickly as the LeBron Lovers members go down, Guardians of the Sun are spawning back up, and that's what happens when you're trying to cap it so close to the defender spawn. You have to quickly get kills after kills after kills. You cannot lose momentum, which is exactly what happened to the LeBron Lovers.
Yeah, it felt like that. The attackers had it in them, and yet you just still hold strong. You still have someone like McTwisty who could use the Eye of Agamotto to cause a little bit of stall. Right now, all you're worried about is stalling. You get the cart now, so you're forcing the attackers to try to claim it back. You also want to try to get Noonie's ult back up again. The Adam Warlock ult was used a couple moments earlier. You got to get that recharge to respawn quickly. Oh, here it comes. Eye of Agamotto, Shibi.
Yeah, McTwisty ends up popping that ultimate. Wolfrax responds in kind with the Luna Snow. Juan still has the Eye of Agamotto available, and there's no support ultimates on the side. Jaro is 10% off. Maybe it's going to see in response here. Synthix pops the Squirrel Girl ultimate. Lum on the side as well. Swapped over to Hela, actually, is not on the thing anymore, and has seemingly taken over. 30 seconds left here. TP potentially available for McTwisty, or sorry, Juan here on the offensive side. That might be their last fight. They just got to push it a couple more meters. They have less than 20 meters to go.
And you wonder if the TP is going to go from behind. There's a little elevated platform where you could use that, or if they're just going to fight it straight on, as you see on the screen. You got two ults, the Luna and Adam Warlock ults ready for defense to keep the fights going. Oh, this is huge. Dingers is down with the ult available, so that's
Oh, the
buying us some
block!
time. Oh my goodness! Shibby, that was amazing!
Yeah, the block coming in from McTwisty. Juan Sander lands a really good Eye of Agamotto. Nunu's going to pop the ultimate. It's the last fight anyways. Dinger's walking back into the fight here, but it might be too late. If you pop that Hella ultimate, it'll get off guard. Synthics and the rest of the Guardians of the Sun, less than 20 meters. They seemingly have held the LeBron Luvrs back, and they're going to take map 1.
Wow, you called it. Dinger's using the Hella ult. Hella is invincible, basically, but you get off the cart, and everyone else was falling apart. And there is your final score for game number 1, 3-2. What a great hold there from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, those last 20 meters, really good, kind of keeping your ground, holding your ground, keeping your foot in the sand. And that swap from Lum at the last second, right? Swapping over to that one single tank composition. They went 1, 2, and 3. 1 tank, 2 DPS, 3 supports there. I know McTwisty got the MVP at the end, but Lum did a really good job keeping the rest of LeBron Luvrs in check. It felt like Dingers and Rogue, they weren't really dying too much, right? In the beginning, in the first point, the second point, it seems like the 2 DPS were really overwhelming here. Synthics needed some help, got it in the form of the Lum Hella, and they just kind of took over that third point. Really, really well played. Really good tank play from McTwisty. If Juan actually confirms that kill onto Jaro Jaro was 10% away from their Luna Snow ultimate. If they went down, maybe that fight goes differently. Maybe that point actually ends up being flipped over into LeBron Luvrs. Really well played. Really good heads-up play from Guardians of the Sun. And like I said, they look like the best team at this tournament so far, and that hold kind of showcases why. Hello and welcome back, everybody. I told you guys it was going to be a quick break here. We're back with the Rise of the Rivals Championship weekend, I'll call it. We are in day 2 here, and Brown, we just got back from a very exciting game 1 between Guardians of the Sun and the LeBron Luvrs. It was an epic back and forth on Tokyo 99 on that convoy. LeBron Luvrs had less than 20 meters to win the round, but at the final point, Guardians of the Sun were able to hold it down with some really good play from both Synthics and Loom, as well as, in my mind, McTwisty doing a really good job solo tanking on the Doctor Strange there. It felt like LeBron Luvrs were kind of riding the momentum. Point 1, they did a really good job capping it really, really quickly. Point 2, it took a little bit of back and forth, and it felt like they were able potentially to steamroll through because Dingers and Gizmo both were having a field day. Gizmo locking in the penny, staying on the penny for the whole game, as well as Dingers having a very good Hella game despite the loss.
And I'm just so happy to see my main Penny do some work on both sides to dispel the stigma that Penny can only play defense. I mean, this was her whole map in Tokyo, to be able to go out there and just make all that space. And really for both teams, that was the key, is like, how can their tanks take up the space in the first and second segments if they're able to push up for, at least for the attacking side. They're able to take up all the space and force the defense backwards. That was the only way you can get that cart to move. But as you mentioned, Shibby, it was that third segment for both teams that was really a nail biter. Every time you saw Eye of Akamoto, and then it was immediately countered by a Inviswoman ult. Shields are up, ready to put on a show. Oh no, here comes the res from Adam Warlock, and then another Eye of Akamoto. There's like a counter to a counter to a counter, and these players are good enough to understand how to combine these abilities together to put them in the best position to win. And if you really think about it, it probably was a coin flip at the end of the day. We mentioned the scenarios where it was possible to go one way or the other, but in any case, it came down to that last moment, which put the Guardians of the Sun up 1-0.
Yeah, really good job from the Guardians of the Sun here. And like we said, it's a best of 3, so potentially LeBron Luvrs on their match point, and the loser of this actually ends up getting set to the lower bracket, which will be the match after this, right? Me and you, Brown, won't be on for that. We'll have our next set of casters potentially for that. But before we get into game 1, Brown, you said it before. We do have to thank some of our sponsors. We do have to actually recognize why this event is happening. This is obviously for the LA wildfire relief. We actually are really close, I believe, to our $500 goal. Like you said, we got a $100 donation not too long ago. I think that put us at like $437 or something like that. But we're very close here. And obviously, none of these events could happen without you guys. And obviously, like we said, our sponsors, specifically Core Gaming, who is a premier Las Vegas-based esports organization. Obviously, you know Core Gaming because they're pretty popular within Twitter, but also our very own Ohgawdevents recently joined Core Gaming and has partnered with them for this event. And if you like Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, if you like fighting games, and now potentially if you like Marvel Rivals, well, Core Gaming has their hands kind of dipped in all these different cookie jars, trying to host tournaments both locally and online. So if you're in the Vegas area, maybe you play a bad hand of blackjack, maybe you go down 500 in gambling, well, you can maybe potentially hit up a Core Gaming event. But if you want to know where all of those events are happening, both online and offline, you can follow them at Twitter at Core Gaming and on Twitch at Core_Gaming as well. Really big shout out to them. I think it was really cool that they kind of coincided the pickup of Kate with the Rise of the Rivals event. Kind of feels a little bit too coincidental maybe, but I like to say it's a little bit of happenstance.
We also do have to thank our other sponsor, Ponage, who will be providing the winning team with 8 mice. I mean, those are some wonderful peripherals that they got. They're based in California, and if they're able to use these mice, they can click on the hero bands quickly. They can go to Groot and instantly click using the Ponage mice that they have. You too can win one. It will be a Stormbreak Max or a Trinity CF. You just gotta follow Ponage Official and Ohgawdevents on Twitter, and maybe you too can ban Groot, Moon Knight, Penny, and I guess they got tired of Inviswoman. All of those can get banned quickly with that mice.
Yeah, special shout out to Ponage, right? You can follow them on Twitter, like you said, and obviously on Instagram for additional entries. So you can enter more than once. And if I'm in the need of a new mouse, like you said, I'm definitely looking at Ponage and picking up some of their really lightweight mice, which for me, I'm not gonna front. I've got kind of small hands. I don't really like heavy mice. I like having the lightweight ones, the air ones, as like you said, both of these guys flying through the bands right now. And we're gonna actually be on my first Convergence map of the tournament. If you haven't realized, Brown, I've only casted Convoy from yesterday up until today here. So really exciting. We still do kind of get a little bit of Convoy potentially, but we also get the attack and defend points with Convergence here. And we flew through the hero bands right now. Moon Knight off the table. Gizmo's not going to be allowed to have his penny. Loki being removed as well. On the other side, Rocket Raccoon, Invisible Woman, and Groot, like you mentioned, completely removed off the table. With the saves, we've got Hela, Doctor Strange, Magneto, and Cloak and Dagger. So we're maybe getting a little bit of the season 1.5 meta. But Brown, I'm gonna ask you really quickly. A very OP duo has been left up on the board here. 2 characters that have got some interesting changes that we finally get to see. McTwisty on the Hulk and Lum on the Namor. I don't know. Have you had a chance to see the Monster Energy Gamma Ray Squid?
I will say this. It is really nice to have, as you see Lum play Namor there. It's a pain for me whenever I have to do something to dive and then a turret kills me, but I like Killjoy in another game, which means I can't complain about turrets, but those really are like gamma rays. Those things hit hard. As for Hulk, it feels like you just don't... I almost forgot Hulk was in the game. It didn't seem like he was played as much, and to see him being utilized in this tournament, I mean that guy can go huge. That guy, and that the shield, right? I think that can counter... Yeah, that's an important counter for Juan. If Juan throws down that Magneto ult and you can block down the shield, that's been an underrated ability. I think those are important points. Maybe there's going to be less dives and there's going to be a lot more tanking to come out, Chibi.
Yeah, the Gamma Bubble, really important. Can, like you said, block a ton of abilities here. We're going to see the LeBron Lovers on the offensive side, and there we go on the defense for Guardians of the Sun. Synthic's back on that Mr. Fantastic. Has been really liking that pick, specifically on the defensive side, this brawl-heavy kind of .1 here. I really like what the LeBron Lovers have done and taking that high ground. Dingers on that Hela once again, picks up a kill onto Lum, and I'm really surprised that Guardians of the Sun were willing to give such a strong character over to one of the best performing members of the LeBron Lovers.
Oh, it's just so hard when you
Oh my
have to
God,
deal with these
Gizmo.
multiple bans. As Gizmo gets 3, all you gotta do is slap him with the right click and do the massive damage to get this point taken. And potentially, I mean, unless Mr. Fantastic does something fantastic, we're gonna go to the second section very, very quickly.
Yeah, and this is the convoy part, right? So it's convergence, the hybrid map potentially. And right after that point 1 goes down, we see Lum swap over to the Hella, which is what they did last map to kind of put them over the edge for Guardians of the Sun here. They've dropped the Hulk Namor team up. They've opted in for what is the double shield setup with Synthex on a hybrid tank, DPS duo here. But Gizmo on this thing actually counters double shield very well. The auto attacks, these right clicks pop right through the shields, Brown. You can't actually block them.
And it's very strong because you're able to just make your space without getting CC'd, and then you leave space for Rogue to do some hard work, trying to get some kills. Here's a Magneto ult as well.
Woo!
Huge for the defense. Amazing. The Guardians of the Sun, straight from the sun into the ground, and pretty much a team wipe for them.
A lot of resources used there, Brown. Chimera and Jaro both popped their support ultimates here. That's a big no-no generally in hero-based shooters and team-based shooters, right? You don't want to pop both your support ultimates because now you leave an opening for somebody like Dingers, who has the Hella ultimate available, Gizmo, who has the clobbering time available, to absolutely rip through your team, and you don't have an answer. I expect the LeBron lovers to just be able to push through this relatively easy now.
And you got a huge straight section they can use. And McTwisty is trying to do something crazy.
Oh, McTwisty!
Oh, here comes the Guardians of the Sun. They didn't respect the Eye of Ohgawdevents. It's amazing.
Yeah, and Wolf didn't even respond with the Luna Snow ult, and maybe didn't have enough time to kind of reactively hit that Luna Snow button right when the Eye of Agamotto comes in. So really good play from McTwisty, buys them more time. It is still 3.5 minutes, simply because of how fast the LeBron lovers ended up taking that point 1. They got a ton of time for these next couple convoy points here. Gizmo, like we said, popped that ultimate. Lum, though, what is he doing? He's flanking. He's waiting in a corner.
He was waiting, trying to get a quick pick to throw off the attackers. I know they were trying to combine a Gizmo ult, who dies here again. Lum is going crazy. Lum's got 2 and now looks for more. Up into the sky and down hard for more. Absolutely inspirational. Now here comes Dingers to do some damage. It's a hella fight. Amazing.
Yeah, Dingers popped that Hella ultimate, and then Lum quickly responded, said, you know what, I'm going to equalize as many kills as you get there. Even though they ended up getting 2 off of Lum in their base form, I think matching Hella ult for Hella is really good here. Now we're down to about 2.5 minutes here, and Lum once again gets a really disgusting pick. It is so difficult for the LeBron lovers to push this point here when you've got Lum on this Hella just completely sniping away individuals. It's a 5v6 before they're even allowed to touch the cart, Brown.
And I think they're just going to have to regroup. They were in a really good position a couple minutes ago when they had all those ults up, and they could have done something with that straight away up the stairs, combine all these ults together. Instead, you're finding them separate a lot. And remember, LeBron needs help. Just like in real life, you need it in this game. You got to be able to group up together. Still 2 minutes to do some stuff. Two fights might be good, but that's also more time for the Guardians of the Sun to keep charging ults. Lum is still camping. That's been working out great for him. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if this point doesn't get pushed, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Oh my, Wolf might just be dead here. I mean, Nooney is just left-clicking this guy. Wolf is playing back and forth, ring around the rosy, and unfortunately does go down. It's another 5v6 here. Juan gets the Eye of Agamotto in. We see the Meteor being popped. Nooney unable to really get anything there. Synthex has the ultimate available. Mr. Fantastic looking to bounce around. McTwisty tries to land the Eye of Agamotto. Doesn't land onto anybody important. Gizmo has the Thing ultimate available. And all the meanwhile, Rogue pops the Galactic Legend. And this might be the fight win that allows them to push onto this point here. You look how far the cart has gone. It is reversed back nearly into its, normal state there. There is absolutely going to be at least 1 or 2 more fights coming out from the side of the Guardians of the Sun. Doesn't matter if you have 3 members on this cart. Be prepared, LeBron lovers. You have to win another fight here, and you expended a ton of ultimates. The Galactic Legend, Gizmo popped the Thing ultimate. We also saw Sofa pop the Cloak and Dagger. Let's see if you can maybe land this Eye of Agamotto to win the fight from Juan.
But if that comes out, you do have the Wolfrax ultimate. The Luna ult can be useful just to get some protection, just to keep your players alive. It's going to be used right now with the 30 seconds left, so it should stop Lum from doing anything crazy. And with the Hell ult coming up from Dingers, that will also be huge for them. So the attackers, looks like they might be in business, but not so fast, Shibby.
Looks like the defensive side, Guardians of the Sun doing a really good job holding them back here. This double shield composition from both McTwisty and Nooney absolutely holding everybody here. Dinger's gonna fly in, pop the ultimate, as well as Juan. He's also gonna pop his Eye of Agamotto. They're looking to combo here, and unfortunately, Synthix actually picks up a kill onto Rogue. It's a 5v6 in the favor of Guardians of the Sun right now, and he's gonna go into that inflated state. He's gonna be pressuring the backline, and this guy does a lot of damage when he's that big. Lum and McTwisty are gonna be able to follow up Synthix on this Mr. Fantastic, and what looked like a proper fight setup for the LeBron lovers, they get absolutely stuffed out by the Guardians of the Sun here. Very well played defense. They held that for more than 5 minutes, Brown.
I felt like even that one fight that the attackers had won, the cart was moving backwards, so it felt like the progress wasn't being made at all. And that just shows how fantastic both of these teams have been when it comes to defense. When it matters the most to them, when they can lock in and combine the ultimates together, then you put yourself in great position to hold I don't even know if I want to call it convoy or convergence. It's like when we're on these maps, it feels like it's just a site being moved. It's like they're playing it as if the site of domination was the cart because of how it's just been stagnant. That's been the key on defense for both sides.
Yeah, I believe it. They just kind of fight on cart. They're not really taking too much space here. Synthix, I don't know if he's got that Spider-Man in him. It's a cool skin that came with that new battle pass. I'm kind of disappointed though. Brown Spider-Man has 7 skins right now. 7 skins here. Lum is actually going to pop in, and we might see it.
I mean, I saw the skin and it was nice. Okay, Kate, what are we doing here? Kate is
best.
Okay, yeah, maybe we. People have found out very interesting ways to use the Venom emotes, and the developers have done a wonderful job with adding all sorts of different skins and emotes and things. I just want another Penny skin myself, so that's all I'll ask for, please, as we go into the second half.
Yeah, and it looks like Gizmo and the rest of the gang have kind of scoped out what sort of attack they're running. Synthix has opted in for the Psylocke on the offensive side. Lum back on that Hella. So Dingers and Lum having another Hella war here. And I love that they've already opted in to take this high ground right now. With the double shield composition coming in, doesn't matter. Lum wins the 1v1 onto Dingers. Immediately the point becomes a 5v6. Rogue as well has his own 1v1. Both of them have locked in Psylocke, and both of the DPS have won here. Lum and Synthix win their respective 1v1s. We'll call it 1v1s. I know we got to see the kills confirmed by the Guardians of the Sun here, but really well played right now. The LeBron lovers, they might have the same heroes, but they don't have the same efficiency, Brown.
Yeah, and they're just going in quickly. I mean, you see the skill of just aiming forward and knowing how to get out at the right time, even overextending, to be honest. But with that type of first section, you might as well keep pushing. Gizmo's going to try to... Oh no, the portal must have been canceled there, or it's used somewhere else. As we have a full 5 minutes, Shibby, to stop them from going halfway through this section. I mean, that's not a lot of space to work with all this time if you're on defense.
Yeah, Guardians of the Sun were able to do it. Let's see if the LeBron lovers can match. Synthix, though, already gets a pick on this Spider-Man onto Sofa there. That's a 5v6 once again. I said, does he got that Spider-Man in him? It looks like he's been playing a little bit too much. He's been getting an insane amount of kills on this Spider-Man. That's multiple picks being garnered here. Rogue is going to pop the Dance of the Butterfly, but unfortunately does get their wings clipped. And with that immediate team fight win, the LeBron lovers go down 0-2. They get sent to the lower bracket, and the Guardians of the Sun win this in a 2-0 sweep. Brown, I told you they look like the best team coming into this tournament. They played like the best team coming into the tournament, and now they are just one series away from being known as the best team this tournament.